So, you might have heard of this game that was recently released. No, not Far Cry, or Forza, or soon to be Battlefield, but Call of Duty Vanguard. And I'm not the biggest fan of this game. Call of Duty Vanguard is the newest addition to the Call of Duty franchise, being made available to buy and play on Friday, November 5th, 2021. I pre-ordered Vanguard because the campaign looked enjoyable and I really wanted a multiplayer experience that I could play for longer than 20 minutes before getting obliterated by skill-based matchmaking. And I'm going to tell you my thoughts and expectations for the campaign, zombies, and multiplayer. Also, these are just my opinions. My opinions may not be exactly the same as yours, and that's okay. You have a right to your own opinion. So, my expectations for Vanguard were as follows. Number 1, I want the campaign to be enjoyable. I heard that it's 5 hours long, and that doesn't seem too long, but if it's going to suck, that's going to be a really long 5 hours. Number 2, I want the multiplayer to be at least bearable. A huge problem that I had with Cold War was the multiplayer. One of my least favorite multiplayers of any Call of Duty, and it was not fun. Everybody was camping, every new DLC gun instantly became meta, and by the time I got the gun, it would have been nerfed into the floor. I want the zombies to keep getting better and better. Personally, I don't think Treyarch was able to get a Cold War zombies map to be as good as The Machine. While Malware and Forsaken are neck and neck for the map that I like more, I still think The Machine is the best map of Cold War, and they weren't getting any better. So, with that out of the way, let's get to the actual review part of the game. The campaign. Spoilers for the campaign. I didn't have very high hopes for the campaign. I didn't know what the story was. I only knew one character's name, Arthur Kingsley. And I only knew that because he was a free operator in COD Cold War if you pre-ordered Vanguard. So to get back on track, just to put it straight, I didn't like the campaign. It was 9 missions long, but only 2 missions actually advanced the story. You start the game off as this guy called Novak. We don't get to know much about him. I think he's a locksmith, but this is information from one line of dialogue given to us by Arthur. So I'm thinking that Novak is going to be our main character. I don't know much about him, but that can change. He could be given a backstory over time, similar to Bell in Cold War. Well, if you were thinking that same thing as I was, you would be dead fucking wrong, as Novak is killed by the end of the first mission by our villain, Herman Freisinger. I think that's how you pronounce it. So, who is our new main character? As the one we were playing as just got beaten to death by a chair. And I'm not joking. The character we play as next is Arthur Kingsley. He is a British soldier, and he is the leader of the group we are in called Task Force Vanguard. We learn about his backstory in the second mission. Now, I was thinking, okay, backstory for our new main character. Cool. I was right about this. It wasn't like where I thought Novak was our main character. But when we go to the next mission, it's backstory for another character called Polina Petrova. She is a Russian soldier who gained a reputation for herself by taking out German soldiers in the destroyed city of Stalingrad, earning herself the title Lady Nightingale. Her backstory takes a quick pause after Mission 2 and resumes after Mission 4. So now we have 2 main characters, Arthur and Polina. But why does Polina's backstory pause and resume after 2 missions? Well, we had to get into another backstory for another character, Wade Jackson. We learned that Wade is pretty good at flying airplanes, but he's also stupid and kind of does stuff without much thought. Because of this, he crashes his plane, leaving himself injured and his buddy Mateo Hernandez and himself stranded in Japan. Okay, 3 main characters, Arthur, Polina, and Wade. Surely, there can't be any more, right? I hear you asking. Well, you would be wrong once again, because we are given a backstory to yet another character called Lucas Riggs. And if you want a simple description of the guy, just think of a stereotypical Australian man. Lucas is an Australian soldier who is also pretty good with explosives. That's all I can remember about him. His character wasn't really memorable. So that's 4 main characters. Now that we know who everyone is and have spent plenty of time with each other, what comes next? Is what I was saying to myself going into the 9th mission. Well, I will tell you what comes next. The ending. You break out of your cell that you were in, kill Charlie from Lost, kill Herman Freisinger, and the campaign ends. I totally forgot to mention, but Charlie from Lost is interrogating you in every cutscene, and all you do is lie to him. That's it. And Hermann Freisinger is just Hitler too. So, back to the campaign ending. I was severely disappointed with this campaign. I had pretty high hopes for this, but I'm pretty let down. Most of the campaign is just learning the backstory of all these characters, learning who they are as people, and their military backgrounds. And that's it. And it's all for nothing, really. There are only 2 levels out of the 9 in the whole campaign that actually move the story along. All the other story is told via cutscenes in between levels with Charlie from Lost. So what did I learn from this campaign? Well, I learned that Arthur became a leader because his captain died. So he replaced him and killed some Nazis. Polina killed Nazis because they destroyed Stalingrad and killed her father and brother. Wade flew a plane and killed some Japanese and Nazis. And Lucas blew us some shit and killed Nazis. My final thoughts are that the campaign was a big letdown. It felt like all the backstory was told to us just for the skills we learned these characters have from those backstories to be used once in the final battle. I would give the campaign a 4 out of 10. A big letdown. Multiplayer. I was pretty hesitant to play multiplayer after Cold War. I was expecting it to be shit, unfinished, and boring. But I was wrong. After playing the multiplayer beta, I became a fan of the way the multiplayer feels. At first, I was very skeptical and tried to form my own opinion the best I could. And after more and more time was put into the beta, I found myself enjoying it more and more as I played. The multiplayer is pretty fun. With this game, some new additions were added as per usual. They made a new game mode, Champion Hill, and that's alright. They added a new mechanic called Blind Fire, and you use it once in the campaign. But my favorite new thing, by far, that they added is pacing. You were able to play multiple different maps in different pacings, like 6v6, 8v8, 10v10, 12v12, I think 14v14 and 20v20, I'm not 100% sure. With some of the smaller maps, having 12 people per team makes this game really hectic and a lot of fun. It makes the game feel like an actual war zone. The game launched with 20 maps, which is a huge upgrade from Cold War's launch, which I think had 8 regular maps, not including Fireteam, Dirty Bomb, and Face-Off maps. Some maps are designed to be bigger to fit the different pacing options. Maps like Dome and Das Haus are small to fit the 6v6 and 8v8 pacings, while maps like Predstar and Castle are bigger to fit the 12v12 and 14v14 pacing. But on some of the smaller maps, on a higher pacing, the spawns get really weird. Sometimes you could spawn right next to an enemy, or an enemy spawns right next to you. Other than that, I really like the new pacing option. Another new addition is a different game end screen. If you played at least one game of multiplayer, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Instead of having just a play of the game screen, it switches between that and a final kill cam. And after the final kill cam or play of the game plays, a new screen called Team MVP shows up, where a few players from your team with some feats like most kills, most multi-kills, and most captures, if you're playing like domination or something, they show up and you get to vote for who you think has the best feat. If you are on that screen and you get the most votes, you earn extra XP depending on how many people voted for you. And I like this addition. Honestly, that's all I have to say about the multiplayer. It's refreshing to have something different from Cold War. It's fun to play, not too frustrating to play, and how much I like the pacing options makes me want to keep playing. It makes me look forward to more seasons of content. I would give the Vanguard multiplayer a 7 out of 10. Zombies. I was very scared to play zombies. I tried my best not to watch any content on it, whether it was on TikTok or on YouTube. But from the stuff that I had seen, I didn't hear the best stuff about the mode. What I did hear was that the game was boring. It was unoriginal and basically just a multiplayer map turned into a zombies map, which it is. So Vanguard did not launch with a round-based zombies map, and that's an issue. The first round-based map is coming in Season 1, which is coming after Cold War Season 6 ends. I am not happy about this. We are having to wait up to a month just to get a round-based zombies map. So we're off to a rough start with the mode. But to have a zombies mode, you have to have a map, right? But this map is different. It takes the objectives from Outbreak, from Cold War, and implements those into a multiplayer map. Now, I don't know if you remember what happened the last time a multiplayer map was made into a zombies map. that being Nuketown Zombies, which turned into Alpha Omega, and these maps are generally seen to be some of the worst zombies map that Treyarch has made. Oh yeah, if you didn't know, Treyarch is the developer of Vanguard Zombies. I bring up that Treyarch is the developer now because it'll be important later. And by later, I mean right now. This game feels so much like Cold War Zombies. The way the HUD is laid out, the Pack-a-Punch machine, even the mystery box have changed barely anything from the last game, except for how much the Pack-a-Punch is. It went from 5,000 to 7,500, which I don't like. They removed the skills tab. and the Ethereum crystals from the last game. And the skills were something I really enjoyed. It gives you a reason to go for higher rounds so you can unlock different levels for your perks, field upgrades, ammo mods, and gun classes. Instead of this, they added free perks and a level system to them. First level is free. Second level is 2,500 points. And the third level is 5,000 points. So to get max level on each perk, you need to spend 7,500 points per perk. Yeah, there's 5 perks in the game. If you want to get to level 3 on each perk, you're gonna have to fork over 37,500 points, which is a fair bit more than Cold War's at launch. And that's per game as well. And adding the 52,500 from Pack-a-Punch, that's a total of 90,000 points to get fully set up, not including the scrap you have to gather to get armor and stuff like that. This is about 20,000 more points more than you needed to get in Cold War. And in Cold War, it can sometimes take me up to round 28 just to get triple Pack-a-Punch. But let's move on from that and focus on the objectives. The objectives in the game range from follow this, stay alive in this area, or deliver things into another thing. These are really boring and unoriginal. These are just like bare bones objectives that you were to have in an objective mode. To get to these objectives, you have to use a portal to teleport to, and you teleport to a closed off area and complete these objectives. By completing these objectives, you are granted more area to roam around in the map, some areas even having perks. And the perks are just the regular perks, but renamed, and one being reskinned. There's Juggernaut, Quick Revive, Stamina Up, Speed Cola, and Deadshot Daiquiri, with Deadshot being the only reskinned one. Other than just the reskinned Deadshot, there is no new perks available right now, and I'm disappointed by that. I wanted to see some new stuff in this game, and there haven't been anything new so far. Keeping on trend with the no new stuff, let's talk about the field upgrades. They are the same as Cold War's, but with no skill tab to upgrade them, they are already worse. There's Energy Mine, Ring of Fire, Aether Shroud, and Frost Blast. But for some reason, they got rid of Healing Aura. But Healing Aura is, in my opinion, the best field upgrade to have if you're playing zombies with a team, especially max level. Also, one of the locations you end up at after teleporting is Shinonuma, one of the OG maps from World at War. And I'm not fazed by this like I was with Knocked in the Machine. Shinonuma hasn't had any upgrades to it. There aren't any new areas. But most of the outskirts of Shinonuma are made unavailable to go to because of barriers. Also, some very minor things that I forgot to mention. No main Easter egg. No side Easter egg. No Pack-a-Punch camo. No wall buys. And plenty more things. Also, no fucking wonder weapon. I'm fairly sure what I just said explains itself and why I'm mad about it. Overall, this zombies experience is disappointing. I'm hoping that with Season 1, the round-based map will make these elements really work, because they don't for me at the moment. I'm giving Call of Duty Vanguard Zombies a 2 out of 10. A huge disappointment. Overall, the multiplayer really shines as the highlight of this game. It seems like the thing with the most time put into it. But with a zombies mode that has no new additions from its predecessor, and a campaign mode that is just setting up characters to just end, makes me very underwhelmed with this game. I will give the newest Call of Duty game, Call of Duty Vanguard, a 4.5 out of 10. I really hope that Vanguard improves in quality like Cold War did. Sledgehammer Games listened to the community. During the beta, many people had issues that were shortly fixed or improved by Sledgehammer in about a day. So I'm hopeful that Sledgehammer will listen to the fans and make some improvements on zombies. Call of Duty Vanguard has some greats like multiplayer, but is weighed down by the huge flaws of zombies and the campaign. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, cool. Good night, sleep tight, and don't let the bedbugs bite. Alright, bye.